All right, audio. Yes, audio. Um, no, I can't hear the switch. Um, okay, I think we have that audio. All my audio settings reset. Okay, good. Those are connected. Wait. Okay, wait. Okay, I can't hear the game. Okay. I just broke everything broke somehow. No idea what happened. Before we jump into Splatoon, I think we gotta go to news. Frostyfest. And hey, we have some items. Yep. It's been what, 2-3 weeks since we did Splatoon? Huh. I have a Shirley Temple soda. And it's more cinnamony than I expected. Yeah, that's more cinnamon than I expected. I haven't booted this game up in weeks. Alright, listen up, it's going down. Friends, family, solo. Okay. Ooh. Love the power glove. Oh, I really actually like that outfit. Holy, oh, I should go get that. Ooh. Did we get our equipment? No, we didn't. Let's pick a team. Okay, so when it comes to picking a team, I actually spent the holiday with my family, right? That's what I actually did. But I'm one of those people who's like a firm believer in the idea that the family of the 21st century is friends, right? That the whole idea of blood is thicker than water is stupid. And right, the people who really matter are the people you choose. Now, of course, the people you choose can be family. But let's just go with family. Sure, why not? And maybe this will get us the... Okay, if we head down to back to news. Sure, maybe this will get us the stuff. Because I do want these items. Yeah, no, this Shirley Temple is not what I expected. How much of the speech is it going to go over again? Unless, of course, I can't get the items anymore, which would suck. I don't know why I wouldn't be able to. Yeah, I still think that jacket's cool. Huh, why is it not... I swear, like, when the Halloween update happened, it was just, I opened up the game and they just gave me the stuff. Because that's how it worked in Splatoon. Maybe it's... I was like, the only other place I can think of is it's here on the computer. Okay, there we go. I'm not going to wear any of them, but that's neat. You know, I want the stuff. I need to mess around with my outfit at some point. Alright, so yeah, we're back in Splatoon. I know it's been a few weeks. You know, we've been doing Mario Wonder. We're gonna finish Mario Wonder at some point. We don't have much left, honestly. I think we're in the final world. So, we're in World 6, the Lava World, so we don't have much left. But yeah, we've been doing Mario Wonder. I don't know what else we have. Oh, they made the ink sparkle again. Oh, that's neat. Admittedly, I did not like the sparkly ink in Splatoon 2's campaign. But I did like when they used it in the Splatfest. And yeah, I like the little snowflakes. You know, honestly, a year in, you know, finally they started actually putting some effort into these Splatfests. Yeah, like it's fucking snowing. At least for a second there it was. That's neat. It's not much, but it's neat, you know? I like that. Oh, that's so great. I don't know, man. I still really do love... Over a year later, I still do really like this game. Of course, we just got 2 disconnects, which fucking sucks. Oh. Yeah. Yeah, it happens. Ugh. So, for tonight's show, we have a few stories, you know, all small ones, all quick ones. And then we got some TV stuff. Admittedly, I did not watch much. But we've got some stuff, so we'll talk about that. And yeah, and then that's it, you know. I say it'll be a quick show. I still think we went for, what, like an hour and a half last week? Oh, did they put, like... little, like, ghosts and goblins? Well, I know there were ghosts, but, like, they put, like, little snowflakes. That's cute. So, yeah, we got some stuff on, we got some Xbox stuff, because, yeah, Xbox is doing a presentation next week. We've got some stuff on the Nintendo Switch 2. The Nintendo Switch 2 is gonna be, every week there's going to be some sort of story. I can almost guarantee it right now that every week there's going to be some sort of Nintendo Switch 2 story that, you know, relates to, I don't know, someone's like claiming like, oh, I know the release date. Someone claims they know the, right, like someone's claiming something at all times. So I feel like there's going to be a Nintendo Switch 2 story every week until the console gets revealed. Which I hope it gets revealed, you know, in like May, or March, I mean. The longer speculation happens, the worse it gets. So I'd love to see something before then. But I guess we'll just have to wait and see. And then, you know, we've got some TV stuff. We've got the newest Percy Jackson. I watched an episode of Echo. So I'll talk about that. I'll talk about the first episode. And I think we have like 1 or 2 more things. Nothing major. So I guess let's start off. So our first Xbox story is Hi-Fi Rush. So, right, Hi-Fi Rush, the game everyone's like super excited. The game that everyone really enjoyed last year. I think it won a few awards. I know it at least won one thing at the Game Awards. I think it won like sound design or something like that. It won one of those like audio design ones. I know this week they announced the nominees for the DICE Awards, And I'm pretty sure it got a bunch of nominations. Which, good for it, you know. That's good. Well, it was rumored this week. I think it got it got done by the ratings board. That, Hi-Fi Rush is coming to Nintendo Switch. And PlayStation. I'm pretty sure it's Nintendo Switch and PlayStation. And if I'm being honest, that sounds great. You know, I saw some Xbox fans, like some of those like Xbox fanboys TM, complaining that Xbox would release their exclusive game on Nintendo's console. But like, they've done that before. You dumb fucks do realize that, right? Like, I mean, the obvious one is Minecraft. But Cuphead is on Nintendo Switch. Ori and the Blind Forest and its sequel, Ori Will of the Wisps, is on Switch. Banjo-Kazooie and GoldenEye are both on Nintendo Switch Online. Right? Well, again, GoldenEye is complicated. But Banjo definitely isn't. Banjo is Xbox owned. I kind of wish they would put more Rare games on Switch Online. I'd love to see Banjo-Kazooie make it to the console. I'd love to see Perfect Dark make it to the console. I'd love to see Diddy Kong Racing make it to the console. You know, Diddy Kong Racing is supposedly one of the best racing games of all time. I've never played it, so I wouldn't know. But I would love to play it. You know, I'd love to give it a shot to see what it's all about. So, yeah, you know, that's actually sounds pretty good to, right? Like, I think the idea of Hi-Fi Rush coming to Switch is actually a fantastic idea. And I feel like it makes sense on the console. I know people really liked that game. I meant to play it. I think my game, like, it came out in January, and I think my Game Pass ran out in January. So, yeah. Skyrim is on Switch. That's now Xbox owned. I don't think it was Xbox owned at the time, but it is now. I'm surprised Fallout 4 never came to Switch. The Switch could 100% run Fallout 4. God, I would love to play New Vegas on Switch. Of course, would it be that good Of course, would it be run that good because it's not modded? I don't know, but I think it'd be cool to play nonetheless. Yeah, I'd love to see the Fallout games come to Switch. It's just weird. So yeah, no, I think Hi-Fi Rush is a great addition to Switch. Will I actually pick it up on Switch? I don't know. Probably not anytime soon. I think the big complication is, the new Turnip Boy game, Turnip Boy Robs a Bank, just got announced to be coming out, like, this week, or next week, I mean. I think it comes out the 18th. And I kind of do want to play that, because I do enjoy the first Turnip Boy Commits Tax Evasion, which is on sale right now. I do recommend you pick it up. But yeah, its sequel, which I think is a roguelite? I'm pretty sure its sequel is a roguelite. And yeah, that comes out later this week. So that's cool. Or, you know, within the next 7 days. But yeah, no, I think Hi-Fi Rush is a great, you know, it's a great addition to the Switch catalog. Because, you know, a lot of people, and this gets said all the time, Xbox does not consider the Switch a competitor. Right? Nintendo, ever since the Wii era, has kind of lived in its own ecosystem. Right? Like, because the last time I'd say Nintendo really competed in the console wars was with the GameCube, right? The GameCube against the Dreamcast. And when Sega finally, you know, let's just say, for lack of a better word, was defeated. That's actually pretty apropos, but you know what I mean, right? When Sega stopped making consoles, Nintendo was done, right? They didn't need to fight the console war anymore. Admittedly, at the time, they were getting their ass kicked by PlayStation. But, you know, the console wars moved on. Xbox joined the fight, took up all of PlayStation's attention, and Nintendo went on to make the Wii, which was, you know, the family-friendly system. And they've kind of been living in that niche as well as the portable niche. Admittedly, like, Sony still picks a fight with Nintendo all the time. I mean, Sony literally just copies whatever Nintendo does, as they have been doing for years now. Nothing entirely wrong with that, it's just they usually do it worse. I know people like the Vita. If you like the Vita, good for you, but I'd pick up a 3DS any day over the Vita. I don't care how much better it looks. The 3DS had so many great, just very fun games. Yeah, so yeah, no, Xbox doesn't the only time Xbox considers Nintendo competition was in their lawsuit against Activision Blizzard, or, you know, against the US government in order to acquire Activision Blizzard, because they needed Nintendo to be their competitor to prove that, you know, they were losing the console war. Right? That the Switch was outselling the Xbox One. That's it. That's the only time Xbox has ever actually said, like, yes, Nintendo's our competitor. And, like, because Nintendo, yes, they make consoles, but they make toys. And Xbox knows that, and so they're just like, why compete? Why not just, you know, tell people, hey, you want an Xbox? Buy an Xbox. You want a Switch? Well, guess what? We're also cool with that. Why not have both? And honestly, it seems to be working okay for them right now. I don't know. Again, Game Pass is still one of the best deals in gaming. Right? I still stand by that. Yeah, that was weird. So yeah, no, Hi-Fi Rush coming to Switch. Great. You know, I'd love to see more Xbox games on Switch. Of course, I saw some people say, like, oh, well, what if this was the other way around? What if this was Nintendo putting Super Mario Odyssey on Xbox? And you want me to be honest? I'd actually kind of be fine with that. Like, you know how, like, PlayStation's been putting their games on PC a year after release? If Nintendo was like, you know what, we're gonna put our games on Xbox a year after release, honestly, I'd kind of be fine with that. Like, I'd, of course, have them on Switch already, but it's like, you know, especially if, like, games, like, looked and ran better. Because, you know, Xbox cares about power, Nintendo cares about their gimmick. So if you had, like, Breath of the Wild on Xbox, and it just ran at a good, consistent frame rate, you know, the graphics maybe looked a little better from a distance, you know, things were just polished up a little bit more to take advantage of the hardware, I'd actually have no problem with that. Boom, there's a hot fucking take for you. So yeah, next up, Xbox announced that they're doing a developer direct. So this isn't like a Nintendo direct. This is more of, you know, this is, I think, their second ever one. They're more smaller scale things. And usually when we go into these, we know exactly what they're going to be talking about. So we know that Advanced Wars, or not Advanced Wars, where was I? Wait. We know Avowed. I think I meant Avowed is in this because it's Obsidian Games. And right, Obsidian Games, who, you know, who did Fallout New Vegas, who did The Outer Worlds, right? Their new game, Avowed, is supposed to come out this year, I think. I don't know when it's supposed to come out, but, you know, having Obsidian there, it seems very likely. Of course, what has Avowed become? No idea. It's been a while. But, you know, I'm excited to see whatever that goes. We know Machine Games is there. Machine Games does the Indiana Jones game with, right, Bethesda. And yeah, you know, that's cool. The Indiana Jones game does have a name now. And I don't remember what because there's a website, right? Like, they registered a website. So we now pretty sure we know the name. And I cannot remember what the fuck it was called. It was Indiana Jones in the Big Circle? No, it wasn't. I think it had Circle in the name. Indiana Jones in the Circle line? Indiana Jones on the Grand Line? Wait, no, that's One Piece. He's gonna be Hokage. That Imbiamba Jones. I don't fucking... It was something out of Circle. It honestly, I don't think it's that great of a name. But to be fair, I didn't think Dial of Destiny was a great name either. So, yeah. I don't know. It's whatever. I don't know. I want it to be good, you know. I think an Indiana Jones game has potential. It's just... And I know it has potential because of Tomb Raider and Uncharted. Tomb Raider and Uncharted are both great games. Well, okay, I like the Tomb Raider... I've only ever played the reboot series. And of the reboot series, I only liked the first one. And I didn't even love the first one. I just liked it. I wasn't, like, blown away by it. But, you know, I know people are very nostalgic for the originals. And then Uncharted is fantastic. Uncharted 2 is amazing. So is Uncharted 4, but I've never actually played Uncharted. I've only ever played 2. Well, yeah, let's just say I only played 2. I technically have tried out 3. Well, I played 1, and I tried out 3, and I didn't really vibe with it. I know some people say it's like a hidden gem or whatever. You know, it's the underrated classic or whatever. But I really like 2. I played 2 on the PS4. Let's see, what else? Oxide... I don't remember what they're doing. I don't remember what their game is. Oxide. Are they that Sung Wukong game? I don't remember. Oxide's there. And then the final one we know is going to be there is Ninja Theory. Ninja Theory is doing the Hellblade game. Hellblade, Senua's Soul? Senua's... It's not Senua's Sacrifice was the first game. I don't remember what it's Hellblade 2. Senua's Sins. Senua's Saga, maybe? Well, they're doing Hellblade 2. And I am interested in that game. I still need to play the first one. But I am interested in the sequel. And I'm surprised we got a big thing about it at the Game Awards. But we didn't get a release date, which really surprised me. So it makes sense for them to have a release date here. That's just the logical thing. It'd be really weird if they showed the game off again and didn't give us a release date. Like, that'd be so strange. But I could see them doing stuff like that. And then, yeah, that's probably going to be it. Like, usually, right, if I remember the last developer Bethesda Direct thing, Xbox and Bethesda... If I remember correctly, that they only showed off the games they, like, said we're going to show off. Like, this isn't a Nintendo Direct or a, State of Play. There are no surprises here. But yeah, so that's coming up. And that is January 18th at 12 p.m. Pacific Time, 3 p.m. Eastern. I will not be straight. I'll watch it... Or, you know, I'll watch, like, Kinda Funny watch it or something. I don't know. That's usually what I do for the showcases I don't give a shit about. Is I'm just like, oh, I'll just put Kinda Funny watching this on in the background. Yeah. It's January 18th. What day is January 18th? It is a Thursday. So yeah, I'll just put on Kinda Funny watching it in the background. Right while I'm at work. So yeah, that's Xbox, you know. You know, it's the start of a new year. Again, this is more new. Honestly, this is more news than I was expecting. Next up, so CES is going on right now. If you don't know what CES is a big convention in Las Vegas. It used to be a tech show where, companies would, get together, talk about whatever their products are, sell their products. But, in the modern age, companies can just do showcases whenever they want. So tech shows like this don't really matter. So after, this was years ago when tech shows stopped mattering. So when they stopped mattering, CES just became a pissing contest to see who could create the greatest TV. And technically we got more of that this year. We had, was it LG showed off a transparent TV? One of the companies showed off a transparent TV, which honestly seems entirely useless. Besides for the fact that it's going to cost like $100,000. It seems entirely useless. Like, the only thing I can see using that is like a fucking Disney park. And they'll just use a Pepper's Ghost, which is, a lot cheaper. But yeah, it's, so that's the TV stuff. There's a bunch of other bullshit that nobody cares about. Samsung revealed a robot. You can now, Google Chromecast TikToks, which I think is very funny. That I might actually use. Like, that I could see myself using. Because I'm a big Chromecast guy. I'm big into the Chromecast. I think they're super, as someone who doesn't have smart TV, they're the new, whatever the most recent one, the Chromecast with the remote, so nice. It is. I bought one last year. It is so convenient to have. Yeah, there's a lot of other bullshit. There were robots. There was an ice cream Keurig style machine. That, it was like a Keurig, but for ice cream, which, everyone was talking about it, but I don't know how good it's actually going to be. What else? There's a lot of bullshit in CES. But the one story that everyone freaked out about, and I mentioned Kinda Funny a second ago. I get the notification that, hey, Kinda Funny has gone live. And they're like, Switch 2 release date leaked. And I was like, what the fuck are they talking about? When did the Switch 2 release date leak? Like, I would have heard about this. So I go on Twitter to Wario64, and sure enough, he's talking about the Switch 2 release date. And the company Game Shark. I had a Game Shark back in the day. On the I think it was the Game Boy Advance. Well, the company Game Shark is back, right? In the year 2023, they have returned, and they are rebranding themselves as AI Shark. So they're now, an AI company that's, using AI to make game cheats, game guides, I don't know, fucking something like that. And of course, they revealed this at CES. And when they announced this new, AI service, they announced it, they did like a press release. And in the press release, they say that the service is going to be launching alongside the Nintendo Switch 2 in September of 2024. So, of course, everyone freaked out over that and is like, oh my god, is this the Switch 2 release date? This might be the Switch 2 release date, September. Of course, immediately, I was like, no. That, right, the way they word it, and the fact that it came from a press release, I was immediately skeptical. Because that's, right, and the fact that everyone's like, it's a release date, this isn't a release date, it's a release month. Right, they're giving us a month. Just saying September. And to be fair, I personally been predicting October. I am still predicting October. Right, like that hasn't changed. So, yeah, that, I was a lot more skeptical. And then, of course, a few hours after that came out, Jason Schreier tweeted out, I'll read it for you. FYI, an AI Shark spokesperson tells me they're just guessing about the next Nintendo console's release date. Which makes sense. That's exactly what I expected. They're just guessing about it. Which, it's a solid guess. Right? September, or if they could have said October, and I think they're equally as possible. I do feel like September, I'm sure Nintendo consoles have come out in September, like, I want to say maybe one of the DS's, maybe the DSi, or one of those consoles came out in September. I know the Switch, I'm pretty sure the Switch Lite and the 3DS XL were August. But, you know, I could see them doing September. You know, that's not too far out of the wings. Oh my gosh. Sometimes water is just the best thing in the world. I know I talk about that all the time. But sometimes it really is just the best thing in the world. So yeah, after that, right, I think it's a fine release date. The actual AI Shark stuff, if you can't tell already, no. Right, I think AI has its practical uses. I do not give a shit about this. Was it Steven? Oh, what's his last? Steven... I want to say Septic, but I don't think that's right. I think Steven Septic's a different guy. There was this... So someone did an AI thing. And everyone was like, oh, this is stupid. You know, we don't want AI. Which AI thing was this? I have no fucking idea. Was it the Magic the Gathering thing? Was it the Wacom thing? Honestly, I don't fucking remember. It was something AI. And they were like, nobody... And someone made a tweet that was like, nobody wants AI images. Nobody wants AI voice actors. It might have been the voice actor thing. And, right, it was a bunch of like this, like, oh, nobody wants AI. And then he came out and was like, you know what I want? I want AI to, you know, do new research, to, you know, find cures for my diseases. I want AI to be used to give me better control of the limbs that I'm, like, slowly losing control over. Right? All this stuff. And it's like, yeah, that's what I want AI for. To do shit like that. Like, I want AI to be the ultimate, like, accessibility tool. You know, the tool that cures cancer. But no, instead we're just using it to make art and replace voice actors. And it's like, God, this fucking sucks. Like, that's the whole point of AI. Is that we were supposed to get AI, and it would do all the boring shit we don't want to do. So that way we could spend time doing the creative stuff we actually do want to do. And instead, the exact opposite's happening. AI is replacing all the creative stuff, you know, so that way people are just stuck doing the boring stuff. And it fucking sucks, and we live in hell. Right? We have lived in hell for, 12 years now? Nothing has changed. Nothing has fucking changed. So yeah, no, this AI Shark does nothing for me. Who fucking cares? You know, after the Switch 2 rumor bullshit, I'll immediately forget about it. But, you know, they're gonna announce the Switch 2 one way or another. I think it's gonna come before. I think Arlo put out his big prediction video, and I want to say in that prediction video, he was like, oh, you know, they're gonna announce it in, like, the March-ish window. And then they're going to do the big full reveal at, you know, during the June Direct, during that E3 time period. And you know what? I think that's very likely. It was also funny watching that Arlo Predict 2024 video, because I made a joke the other week about Nintendogs and how, like, oh, you know, my predictions aren't too crazy. I'm not gonna predict, like, Nintendogs or any fucking stupid shit like that. And then Arlo immediately turns around and predicts Nintendogs. That was good. That was funny. No offense towards Arlo. I actually really... His predictions are wild, but I do really enjoy them. Right. I think that's a very interesting prediction. That, you know, I definitely wouldn't have thought of. But no, I do like it. So yeah. Speaking of Nintendo, we found out that there was a thing. I saw a thing on Twitter yesterday morning that was like, hey, according to a prominent leaker, they're going to announce something for a Nintendo Switch Online Game Boy today. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. And then what happened? Guess what? Later that night, they announced that Golden Sun and Golden Sun 2 The Lost Age are coming to Nintendo Switch Online on the 18th. And you know what? That's really cool. I've never played Golden Sun, but for the past few years, it's a game I've been jockeying for a remake. Right? Kind of like Advanced Wars, where I was like, oh, you know what really needs a remake? Golden Sun. Because Golden Sun is a very beloved game that, you know, it has a big cult following. It's an RPG, you know, so of course it has a cult following. But I've never played it, but I've always heard good things about it. I know people really wanted Isaac, its protagonist, in Smash Bros. And I would have actually been fine with that, because he's already an assist trophy. But seeing him become a fighter would have actually been pretty cool. So yeah, you know what? The fact that these games are coming to Switch Online, I'll take it. You know, I'll take it. It's cool that we're getting both. I think this is the only Switch game. So when they revealed the GBA Online, they showed off a bunch of games, and I think this is the second to last one. The only other game they have not released that they showed on GBA Online is F-Zero. F-Zero Maximum Velocity, I think, has been announced, and it just hasn't come out yet. Other than that, everything else has come out. I'm still waiting to get Kirby Nightmare in Dreamland. I do want, because I've never played Nightmare in Dreamland, so I do want to play that at some point. I'm also waiting for Zero Mission. I kind of wish they would give us both of those at the same time, because those are both remakes of, you know, NES, and yeah, no, I think that are they both remakes of SNES or NES games? I think, yeah, that sounds right in my head. They're both remakes of NES games. At least, yeah, I'm pretty sure Nightmare in Dreamland's a remake of Kirby's Dream Land. Yeah, that sounds right. So that'd be cool. You know, that'd be cool. I'd love to see both those games come. And I'm sure they will eventually. You know, it's just a matter of time. I'm just kind of surprised they haven't happened already. Especially because they turned around and put, like, Fusion on GBA Online, like, instantly. Like, that came out and, like, they, like, released the service, and then, like, 14 days later, they were like, oh, here's Fusion. Because, you know, they were capitalizing on the Metroid hype. Because it's been over a year since GBA Online was announced. Yeah, I think it was, yeah, it's been over. I think that was in, like, a September Direct. Or maybe it's coming up on a year. Maybe it was announced in a February Direct. I kind of don't, yeah, it being announced in a February Direct actually sounds more correct. Nope. I was really hoping I'd just be able to make that gap. Because sometimes you can. Every once in a while, you'll find a sponge at the correct height. And you can just barely make it. So yeah, Golden Sun. Will I actually play Golden Sun and Golden Sun 2? Probably not anytime soon. I really don't have the time, and there are, like, so many other games I should play instead of it. Super Mario RPG, for example. But, you know, it's cool that we're getting it. Oh my gosh. There goes my water. A water, a Shirley Temple. So next up we have WIBE. So what do I have for WIBE? I got a bunch of stuff. I have a bunch of food stuff that I kept forgetting to talk about. So here in Texas, we have Whataburger, right? Famous Whataburger, best burger place. And yeah, I agree. You know, I'm a big fan of In-N-Out Burger. I am a defender of In-N-Out Burger, right? I'm big time defender of In-N-Out Burger. But Whataburger is like the one place for me that really gives In-N-Out Burger competition. Like, they're very different styles of burger. But I really do like Whataburger. So they announced right as of New Year's, sometime around then, they started doing Whataburger wings. And I was like, oh, I say wings, they're boneless wings. So, I've seen a lot of people say, oh, well, they're just like fancy nuggets. And like, you're technically correct that they are just fancy nuggets. But, I was like, it's Whataburger. They can't, right? They already do a chicken sandwich that I actually thought was okay. So of course, I don't go to Whataburger for the chicken sandwich, but, I thought it was okay. So when I saw Whataburger wings, I was like, yo, you know what? This might be good. I was like, yeah, sure, I'll try it. I got the, sweet and sour, because, I'm a big fan of sweet and sour. I think sweet and sour is pretty good. Like, that's the primary dipping sauce I get when I get nuggets from Macca's. So I was like, oh, yeah, I'll try that. I'll try sweet and sour boneless wings. I was not impressed. Like, I have gotten better wings from a Costco. Costco has some really good options, by the way. I think it's Costco, it might be Sam's Club. Fuck, I kind of can't remember. It's one of those two. One of those two has good wings. Like, boneless wings, good high protein, right? Good wings that I'd recommend, especially over Whataburger. Like, I've had, so you remember that joke where everyone was talking about, like, girl dinner, and right, it was just, like, a bunch of little, like, snacks and whatnot? And I saw a bunch of people try to do, like, guy dinner as a parody, and guy dinner just didn't work as, like, a parody. Like, dog dinner was funnier. Right? I just felt like, but the one parody of girl dinner that did guy dinner that I liked was someone was like, guy dinner is going to a Chinese restaurant and getting their wings. And that's it. That's like, if guys were just on their own, right? They didn't have a girlfriend or anything, just a single guy, all they would eat is wings, right? You go to any restaurant in the city, because they all serve wings. And that's it. That's guy dinner. And, like, I think that's a good, right? I don't, like, that's not me, but I know guys who would be like that. Who, like, that's their guy dinner. So I do, that's the one interpretation of guy dinner that I did like. And, yeah, so Whataburger doing wings, it makes sense. But I'll be honest, I was not impressed. Like, at the minimum, I expected them to be like, how, like, when you do wings, you, like, put them in a bowl, and then, like, shake them around in the sauce? I at least expected that. And no, they weren't even that. They just had, like, the sauce, like, drizzled on them. Like, if you're gonna have the sauce, just put it on, like, the side. Like, I would either expect them to be tossed in the sauce, or, like, the sauce on the side. But no, instead they were drizzled in it. And, like, the actual, like I got, like, a side of, like, spicy ranch on the side, and they just forgot it. They just completely forgot it from the order, and I didn't find out until I got home. So, yeah, overall, not impressed with Whataburger wings. They did not do it for me. The place I had this week... Oh, I hit level 50. Neat. Neato burrito. The place I had this week, I tried Sonic. I'll be honest, okay, so I've seen some people say Sonic is the worst burger. It's definitely the most it's the most overpriced burger. Honestly, I could agree with either of those. Like, I totally see how it's the most overpriced. I could see the argument that it's the worst burger. But, I love their shakes. I'm a huge Sonic shake guy. But there was a point when I was in college, Sonic started doing their half-price burgers on Tuesday night. And on the drive home from college, there were a few restaurants, but one of them was a Sonic. At least because I had to go to, like, a specialty building. It was a whole thing. And, it was a little out of the way, so I had to take a different route. And while I was there, I went to there's a Sonic on the drive back from there. It was like right across the street. And well, not... It was close. So I used to the other reason was that I had a class on Tuesday night that ran until like 10 o'clock. It ran late, right? It was like a class where like, it was a late class. It was like a 3-hour class. I only had it once a week on Tuesday nights. And Sonic was one of those places where it's like, yeah, we're open till midnight. Come on in. And it's like, oh, Tuesday night half-price burgers. I was like, oh, this is perfect. So for a while, I was eating Sonic like every Tuesday night. Because it was like because I'd been in class all day, you know, skipped dinner, you know, because I didn't have time for that. And yeah, it was perfect. But I think I just kind of like, I feel at some point Sonic did change the recipe. You know, they changed their recipe claiming they were making it better. They did not, in fact, make it better. Like, you know how, like, Domino's changed their recipe claiming to make it better? And they actually did? Like, Domino's now is so much better than Domino's, like, 10 years ago. Even though I'm also kind of sick of Domino's, but that's a whole other thing. That's just overeating it. Right? But no, I'm honestly kind of sick of every place nowadays, I'll be honest. After COVID, I'm just kind of like, oh god, I fucking hate everywheres. So yeah, but so yeah, you know, Sonic something. Sonic is bad, right? Their burgers got worse, so they announced, hey, guess what? We're doing a peanut butter bacon shake and a peanut butter bacon burger. And I was like, you know, that peanut butter bacon shake, that sounds great, right? I love peanut butter, huge peanut butter guy, and bacon's okay. You know, bacon ebbs and flows for me. You know, sometimes it's really good, sometimes it's like super overdone. But you know, in the past few months, I've been more of a I've been up on bacon. Oh, excuse me. So right with all these factors, I was like, oh yeah, peanut butter bacon shake. That sounds like it's gonna be great. Peanut butter bacon burger. You know, I could take it or leave it. I'll try it. Right? I'll take it or leave it. You know, I'll at least give it a try. So that's what I went to Sonic. I got the peanut butter bacon shake. I got the peanut butter bacon burger. The peanut butter bacon burger was not awful. Like, it wasn't like, there wasn't like so much peanut butter on it that it was like bad. It was just bad because it was a Sonic burger. Like, it was like a plain Sonic burger with bacon and onions. Like, you couldn't even really taste the peanut. Like, I had maybe 2 bites where I could even like slightly taste the peanut butter. So I was less than impressed with it. So, yeah, that's Sonic's peanut butter bacon burger. The shake, on the other hand, it was basically a peanut butter shake, but I'd get the occasional, like, little chunk of bacon in it. And, you know, it'd be like a little, like, crunch and whatnot, maybe a little bit of saltiness. And, you know, it wasn't terrible until I got to the end. Because, you know how, like, when you get, like, a Sonic shake and, it, like, an Oreo one, and there's, like, a bunch of, like, big Oreo chunks at the bottom? That's kind of how the bacon shake works, where there's, like, a few big chunks of bacon at the bottom. And I ate those chunks of bacon, and they just were not good. They were overcooked. You know, they had been sitting in shake for, like, 20, 30 minutes at that point. And, those did not do it for me. So, like, the shake was fine up until that point, but the end was just so disappointing. Which team are you on? I have no idea. Oh, hey, the maps have updated. Let's see, what else? I think those are the only food things I got. I haven't tried anything else. Other than, again, this Shirley Temple soda that I was not impressed with. Right. tasted more. It wasn't like a super strong cinnamon flavor. It was just more cinnamon than I expected. Video game wise, the only thing I played was Smash Bros. They added all of a sudden out of nowheres. They added 4 new spirits to Smash Bros. Why did they do this? Why now all of a sudden? Do I wish they had done more spirits in Smash Bros? Yes. Did I have fun getting... There's Xenoblade Chronicles 3, Tears of the Kingdom, Splatoon 3, and Pikmin 4 spirits. Right? It's Rauru from Tears, Neo, I don't remember the guy's name, from Xenoblade. The 2 that are amiibos. Deep Cut from Splatoon 3, and then Ochi from Pikmin. So, right, those are the 4 new spirits. I think it was, the one, there were the Ace. I know the Xenoblade Chronicles 3 were Ace spirits. I know Ochi was an Ace spirit. I can't remember what Deep Cut was, and I think Rauru from Tears of the Kingdom was a legendary spirit. Not a hard legendary battle. Like, honestly, as someone who has done every spirit, no, there are definitely harder legendary battles out there. But, it was just fun to do spirits again. Like, seriously, I just had fun doing some spirits. It took me like 20 minutes. Because I didn't waste it. Because, even though I have every spirit, I don't really use, like, the refreshes. Because you can, like, refresh the board. And I was just like, nah, I'll sit here and wait. I think I was watching something on YouTube as well. And I was like, yeah, I'll just sit here, wait, watch this YouTube video. God. How I did not get shot there, I have no fucking idea. I was so exposed there. Oh, shit. So yeah, those were fun. I wish they, honestly, I wish they would do more spirits. I really, I feel like every new game that Nintendo releases should just, because it can't be that hard to add new spirits. Like, if this was like trophies, I'd get it. Because those are like 3D models. But spirits are literally just PNGs. And you just gotta create the scenario. I feel like it should not be that hard to add in a new spirit. So I really wish that every, new game Nintendo put out got a new spirit. Because these things are fun, man. Yeah, I know we're literally just collecting JPEGs. But, spirits are what NFTs should have been. Right? They should have just been fun little collectibles that, didn't really have much weight behind them. They were just, fun little things. Spirits are NFTs, but good. So, yeah. And yes, that comes from someone who's got them all. God, I could totally see, the Nickelodeon All-Star... if NFTs hadn't completely fucking collapsed, and if, more video game companies had been trying to push NFTs, I could have totally seen, the Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl doing NFT spirits in their game. Where it's as you play the game, you unlock these, you get a chance to get these, NFT spirits that, oh, you did the special challenge that you paid the $5 for it. You got the 1 out of a fucking billion spirit that's worth nothing on our made-up market. I'm so happy NFT... they removed the ability to have NFT profile pictures on Twitter, the hexagons. And, I know... I hadn't seen one of those in months. Especially since Elon took over. But, yeah, it's so good that NFTs collapse. Because the only person who's allowed to get away with the NFTs is the guy who created Pepe the Frog. Right? He was doing NFTs years before anybody else. Right? If NFTs started in 2021, he was doing them back in 2014. So he's the one guy who gets to get away with it. Nobody else does. And he can't do anything new with it. He only gets the ones he was doing back in the day. Because that was where I probably first heard about NFTs. was the Feels Good Man documentary about Pepe the Frog. That was the first time I'd ever heard about NFTs. I think I've told that story before. So TV show stuff, because I literally have not played any other games. If I have, I can't think of it. I didn't write anything down, so I'm assuming I didn't play anything else. TV shows, Echo. So I know Echo came out on Disney Plus. They launched all 5 episodes. I have not had time to watch 5 episodes. I watched the first one. I thought it was fine. So I thought it was fine. I enjoyed it. The director had been like pushing this fight scene where it's like, oh, this big 6-minute fight scene where, Maya enters it as a woman, as a girl, and leaves a woman. Like, you see her mature in that fight scene. And like, I do think he's correct on that. Like, I do think the fight scene does a good job at there's that whole thing about fight scenes or conversations. I guess this is a one-sided conversation, but I think it does a good job at showing that. But it had been hyped up as like the fight scene with Daredevil in it. So, people were expecting like a 6-minute Daredevil fight. Nah, Daredevil's only in the fight for like 2 minutes. Like, he pops up out of nowheres, fights Maya. Eventually, one of them drops like a shelf on. I can't remember if he drops a shelf on Maya or if Maya drops a shelf on him. And then when the shelf gets moved, he's gone. So it's like he's there for like 2 minutes total. Doesn't really do much. But I still think the fight scene was actually pretty good. Right? Someone on Twitter, I don't remember who, said that, oh, the fight scene is like you're like a goon in like a comic book, right? Imagine if you were just some random like street goon number 12 and Daredevil showed up. How horrified you would be. That's what the fight scene felt like, right? It's like a goon's perspective on like just Daredevil showing up. And I was like, yeah, that's cool. But yeah, the rest of the episode, yeah, I thought it was fine. It's basically, we're getting the retelling of Maya's origin story. We see some scenes from Hawkeye. We see her father get murdered again. We see her confront Hawkeye, Ronin, and how that plays out. We see her shoot Kingpin again. Part of the episode is just, setting us back into the world. But I think that's fine. I love to see... she goes home to Oklahoma. We see her childhood and how she lost her leg. Right? I think it all works actually pretty well. I think as an opening episode, I enjoyed it. I don't know the actress's name, but whoever they have playing Maya, I think does a fantastic job. Right? Like, I think the actress herself is really good and really sells it. Right? She really sells the character. Right? Are they giving her much to work with? Not really. Like, there's not a lot there to work with. But she's making the most of what she was given. And I can respect that. But, of course, I've got another 4 more episodes. My opinion might change. But for the moment, yeah, I think it's fine. It's another okay Marvel project. So, yeah, Again, I'm not as harsh on the MCU as others. I'm fine with them putting out fine products. I know some people hate that, but I'm fine with it. Because, it's the MCU. So, John Mulaney gave his speech at the Governor Awards, and he was like, oh God, what's the actress's name? Where it was like, oh, she got nominated for being in a Marvel movie. That's like winning a Pulitzer Prize for a Reddit comment. And yeah, that's a fantastic... the Golden Globes were fucking awful. That Joy Coy guy, fucking terrible. But John Mulaney, for his little bit I saw at the Governor Awards, fucking killed it. And that was great. It's not Viola... No, who was... It wasn't Viola Davis. Who the fuck was it? I don't remember. Whoever it was, I was like, yeah, no, that's great. And yeah, so yeah, I enjoyed the first episode of Echo. I'll definitely watch the rest. I've been busy. I've been busy and I've been tired. You know, I've been tired this week. Oh, and I've been reading a shitload. I'm not going to talk about any of that. You know, unless it's a book I really want to recommend, then I'll talk about it. But no, I'm doing more guilty pleasure reading. Not the Trials of Apollo. I did pick up the Trials of Apollo books. Finally. Because I only ever bought the first one. Because, like, I was done with Percy Jackson by the time the House of Hades came out. And, right, it took me over a year to read Blood of Olympus. But I remember seeing the Trials of Apollo when I went to, like, Target. And I was like, you know what, fuck it, I'll pick it up. I read the first few chapters and was like, no, I'm not touching that again. I'm like, nah, I think I'm good. And then I never picked it up again. But, you know, I am curious. So I picked them all up. I don't know, was it The Burning Maze? I've heard, like, horror stories about. But I'm not entirely sure what that means. It was just kind of like we don't talk about the Burning Maze. So, like, I don't know if that means it's really bad. Because, like, I know people don't love Blood of Olympus. I don't love Blood of Olympus. So I'm like, what the fuck happens in the Burning Maze? I'll find out eventually, I guess. So, yeah. So the other thing, Bluey. Right, today, a bunch of new Bluey episodes got added to Disney+. These are episodes I have all seen, and I'm pretty sure we talked about them the last time they added some Bluey episodes to Disney+, but fuck it, let's talk about them again anyways. So, it starts off, I think there were like 10 new episodes. They start off with Cubby, that I think is a fantastic episode. It's not, like, part of me is like, Cubby's kind of like, I'm not going to say it's like a poor man's flat pack, but it's just a very creative episode, right? The kids are, you know, playing with Kim Jim, and as part of them playing with Kim Jim, they're making like these little like cubbies, like these little like blanket forts, and they just get really creative with it. Like their blanket forts have like a bunch of like they start off with like a little like bedroom, and then they get like a dining room and an art room, a kitchen, a library, a stargazing room, right? They just kind of like go crazy with the cubbies. And then like halfway through the episode, the dad has to go in and like navigate the cubbies. Meanwhile, the mom is like trying to do some measurements of the room. And it's just really, it's a really creative episode. And I think it's a lot of fun. That's what I love about it. Is it's very fun. It's very creative. I love seeing all the little cubby rooms. Yeah, I really enjoy it. I really enjoy that episode. Next up, Exercise. I know the fact that I know we've talked about this before. It's because I know we talked about this episode. So right at the time Exercise came out, there were some people who were saying, "Oh, this episode is fat phobic," because you know it's the episode originally started off with the dad talking about how he's like getting older, so he's more worried about his weight, and as a result, he needs to do more exercise. This episode, all of that. Just, nope, it's gone now. It just starts off with the dad being like, oh, well, it's time, 10 minutes before work, time to do my daily exercise. And, everything is basically the same, he's playing with the kids, lifting them up. They're playing like jobs, and it's really cute. It's a really cute little episode. Next up, you have the two vacation ones. Relax. Right, which is all about them going on vacation, and the struggles of that. Then you have Stickbird, which is right, they go out looking for sticks. Was Stickbird? I think Stickbird is the one where the mom goes up, where they do the whole Jesus thing of like, oh, why is it that when I look right, like, oh, Jesus, you're walking with me, 2 sets of footprints, but when I look back, I see only 1 set of footprint. And Jesus responded, wah, because Jesus was a Sasquatch. God, I don't remember. I remember that hearing that in Game Grumps and just laughing my ass off. And I don't remember now. It's been years. But I guarantee you there's someone who out there who would recite that line for line. But no, the mom goes off on her own And like I think that's Stickbird. That's one of them. Is Show and Tell the imaginary friend one, where they bring back, or at least they mention like the imaginary friend, because you know the imaginary friend like sits on the dad and everything. It's one of those. Dragon is one of the episodes that makes me cry, because right, it's all about like there's a famous quote. I don't remember who it's by, but it's about like the price of encouraging an artist. And it's like encouraging an artist costs nothing and gets you like endless reward. But you know, discouraging an artist costs so much. Right? It's a famous quote. I know Zen Pencil did a comic of it at one point. I wonder what they're up to. Regardless, you know, it's a famous quote out there. And that's kind of right. It's kind of like Blue, right? It's the mom encouraging Bluey to, you know, explore her artistic skill because she's really good at right drawing horses and whatnot. And it's the one that talks about her mom, right? We see Chili's mom for the first time, right? And we learn that she encouraged her daughter, and you know now that the mom's no longer with them, and it breaks your heart in the end. And yeah, I love it. It's a great episode. I don't know how I didn't die there. Wild Girls, right? All the girls want to play Wild Girls, but Chloe, Coco, one of them doesn't want to play and, you know, wants to play her own game, and it creates problems. And the episode, I think it just has a good ending with her, like, becoming a witch, right? I think that's right, with her, like, playing her own game, and they're able to, like, play their own games and work together. I think it's very cute. I really like that one. TV Shop. TV Shop is all about the kids. They're at the shop getting vitamins, and they see like one of the other kids on TV, and so they're like trying to find him just based on like using the CCTV monitors that, like, you know, when you walk into a shop and it's like, this is being recorded, shit like that. It's you know, it's pretty cute. I think this is the one where you see one of the kids, or one of the dads from like one of the other families hit on one of the other, like, it's like Winston's dad hits on like the terrier's mom or something like that. It's something like that you see in the background, and it's like, oh, that's funny. Slide is all about slip and slides. Man, I used to have a slip and slide. So when the house I grew up in, the backyard was like sloped. So it was like, right, it started off like at the very top was flat and the very bottom was flat, and the rest of it was like a hill. Not like super steep or anything, but you know, there was a slope there. So you run the slip and slide long ways and you pick up some speed, man. I had so much fun on a slip and slide as a kid. It was so good. It was years ago now. At least it's been, oh wow, we just got straight up fully disconnected. Stream still running? Yeah, no, we're disconnected from like the whole internet. Like the Splatfest stuff isn't even. Oh wow, holy shit. But you know, it's all about the kids, you know, doing some slip and sliding, and their bugs keep getting in the way, so they end up doing like a bug guard to like try to protect the bugs, and then it ends with the dad like just going full force, and they have to like push him off the slip and slide. It's very cute. You know, I liked it. And in the final episode, which is another fantastic episode. Does it make me cry? No, but it gets me close. Is Cricket, which is all about Rusty, and right, how he played cricket with his older brother and his little sister, and then he played with his brother's friends, and it's like so you get all this like backstory stuff, but in the present it's Bluey's dad, Muffin's dad, and Lucky's dad. The three of them are trying to work together to beat Rusty, and they just can't. Right? Like, he keeps every trick they have. They then hit him with a Sidewinder, and then we get some like backstory about why he knows how to counter the Sidewinder, and it's just fantastic. Really, it's like one of the best explanations as to why people love sports. Like, it does so well. And then, the ending where he's, like, so good that he hits the ball into, his sister so that way she can catch it is just fantastic. Like, they never even stood a fucking chance. And it's so good. And then, I take the ending as it's, like, Lucky, or Rusty, as he's walking off, right? It's like he passes, like, an older version of himself, who's, like, a professional player. I think that's what that's supposed to be. Which, I love when Bluey does shit like that, where it's like, oh, you know, we're gonna get, like, a flash forward to seeing, like, an older version of the character, like the one where we find out about Bingo's friend, or the Jean-Luc episode, Jean-Luc, right? Great, I love those little episodes. But yeah, that's season 3, part C, I guess? I don't remember what they specifically called it. But, I think there's only one part left. I think Bluey as a show is almost over. Or at least I think the writers are on, like, an extended hiatus after this. Like, if we get a season 4, it's not going to be a long time. Because I'm pretty sure the final episode of season... You know, Bluey episodes are normally, like, 5 minutes. I'm pretty sure the final episode of season 4, or season 3, I mean, is, like, a 20-minute episode. Like, it's pretty long. And that's, right, very intentional, because it's basically the series finale. I mean, I think the creators have said that they might come back one day and do more, but for all intents and purposes, this is the series finale. And to that end, you know, I have not seen it. It might have released already. I admittedly have no idea. But I guess I would say, you know, I am because I want to say there was some, like, leak or something that happened at some point. I honestly kind of don't remember. But whatever it is, I mean, I would say I'm excited. You know, because it's Bluey. I know I've said it before, but I'll say it again. Bluey is the modern day Simpsons. Everything that made The Simpsons great in its first 8 seasons, Bluey has captured. It is the modern day Simpsons, and I love it for that. And it's a great show, and it's, yes, does it kind of suck that they're only doing 3 seasons for now? Yes, but to be fair, I don't want them to overstay their welcome like The Simpsons. Like, The Simpsons hasn't been good in, like, 20 years. It's probably even longer than that at this point. It's probably closer to 25 years. And that really sucks when you know, let's just say 20. Let's just say, because, you know, I defend seasons 9, 10, and I think seasons 11 and 12 are okay. Like, they're not the worst thing in the world. This is, like, it's a few more seasons. The Simpsons didn't just become, hey, this episode we're going to Italy. This episode we're going to Florida. This episode we're going to Hawaii. Right? It was still there was by season, like, 11, they were still only doing, like, one of those a season. Right? Like season 10, I think they go to Japan. And that's it. That's the only travel episode that entire season. So, yeah. But no, Bluey is the modern day Simpsons, and I love it. I love it so much. It makes me cry. I've cried multiple times, and I think that's the mark of a great show. It's not great because it makes me cry. It's great and it makes me cry. So yeah, I guess that leads us to our final thing. Nice to win a 10x battle. I haven't won a 10x battle in a while. We'll do like one more. Probably. So, Percy Jackson. Percy Jackson episode 5 came out this week. Of course, I'm watching all of these the second they release. And honestly, I think this is the best episode yet. I've seen some people complain that, oh, the new, I'm surprised, like, there was some asshole who was like, oh, the problem with this new Percy Jackson, right? People always are like, well, why don't they, right? The movie was bad because they didn't properly adapt the books. And I saw someone complaining like, well, the show isn't adapting the books either. Why aren't you guys complaining about this? And like, this was like, that wasn't as like a joke. That was something serious. And yeah, you know what? They are technically correct. That if you were looking at this as like a one-for-one adaptation, the show isn't actually great as a one-for-one adaptation. But it's doing this thing that modern-day adaptations seem to be doing more and more of, is that it looks back at the show, looks for its problems, and is like, oh, you know what? It's both its problems and its problematic elements, and are like, we're gonna fix this. We're gonna do better. The most recent example I can think of is Scott Pilgrim, right? Instead, Scott Pilgrim takes off, instead of just being a one-for-one adaptation. At the end of episode 1, it just completely veers off the rails and becomes something entirely different. But it does that because it's gonna, address the problems. It's gonna update the source material to, make a better show. And it made an amazing show. And I regret it because I didn't talk about it during my favorite shows of last year. Right? I just kind of completely forgot to talk about it. But no, they did a fantastic job. Instead of being an adaptation, they updated it. And that's what this Percy Jackson feels like. We're not going to adapt the source material. We're going to update it. Like, the core elements are there. It's just everything, like step A, B, and C are still there. It's just how we get to A, B, and C, or how A, B, and C are executed are different. And I think that's for the better. Right, so in this episode, they meet up with Ares, the guy who plays Ares, I'm pretty sure he's a wrestler, I cannot remember his name, does a fantastic job. Right, like, I think Lin-Manuel Miranda is fine casting. I guess I'll lead with that. I think he is fine casting as Hermes. I know a lot of people are like, well, why isn't he Apollo? Because, Apollo's, like, not an... Like, Apollo's, like... I don't want to say Apollo's hot, but, like, that's kind of it. Like, Apollo is described as, like, being an Adonis. Outside of, the time they actually meet Adonis. And Lin-Manuel Miranda just isn't that. So, yeah, I think Lin-Manuel Miranda is going to be fine as Hermes in the next episode. But I feel like all the rest of the casting they have for the gods has been pretty good. Right? They got Ares in this episode... and Hephaestus in this episode. I think both do a fantastic job. Ares especially. Ares is so good. And of course Dionysus, Mr. D, also fantastic. Dream casting right there. But yeah, so the Ares is great, right? He sends them to the amusement park for the Tunnel of Love. Along the way, he gets stuck with Grover. And, we always, Annabeth is always the clever one, right? She's the wise girl. But it was so good to see Grover outsmart Ares. That was so well done. And yeah, I really liked that. I really liked seeing Grover outsmart Ares to, figure out who the lightning thief is. I think that was great. That, and the entire conversation about, like, oh, Grover actually likes Ares because he likes nature, and nature is violent, and, Ares is violent, it gets shit done. I like that. I liked hearing Ares talk about his family, and how they're a shit show, but that's what he loves about them. That, right, they are a shit show. That was great. And then we get the Tunnel of Love. So, right, in the book... The only things I remember, I know it's only been like 6 months since I reread the book, but I'll be honest, a lot of things are slipping my memory. And the Tunnel of Love, I remember them being on camera. I maybe remember some sort of like whirlpool or death pit, spikes. It's some sort of trap. But instead, this one, we get our poker face moment. I'll be honest, everyone talks about Poker Face like, oh, it's this legendary moment in the movie. I didn't even fucking remember it. I only know, I only kind of remember it because I don't even remember it. It's just I hear people talking about it and I'm like, yeah, I guess that happened. I honestly, I think Poker Face at the Lotus Casino was fine. That fucking whatever. And so we get the song here and it's like, oh yeah, that's funny. And right while the song's going on, they retell the story of Hephaestus, right? Him being kicked off of Olympus, him marrying Aphrodite, but Aphrodite cheating on him. And then, right, we get the Golden Throne, right? Which is completely different, right? It's completely different from the book, but instead it's, right, one of them has to sacrifice themselves. We finally get Annabeth calling Percy Seaweed Brain. I've been waiting for that the entire show. I'll be honest, I think Seaweed Brain is a great nickname for Percy. I like it a lot. So Annabeth calls Percy Seaweed Brain, and in return, he calls her Wise Girl. And if I'm being honest, I don't really care for Wise Girl as a nickname. I think it's just kind of like whatever. But Seaweed Brain is fucking crushing. What a fantastic insult nickname. I think that fucking kills it. So, we're 5 episodes in. We're over halfway through it. I'm glad they finally said it. But Percy brings up in one of the second or third episode that, right, he's picking Annabeth because if push comes to shove, he needs someone who would push him in order for the quest to succeed, right? He needed someone who would be willing to push him off a cliff in order to complete the quest. And he thinks Annabeth can do that. So when they get to the point where one of them has to sacrifice themselves on the Golden Throne, right, Annabeth is, of course, immediately jumps to it. And then Percy explains himself and is like, no, I'm going to do it. You finish the quest without me. And once you have, come back for me. And I think that's fantastic. I loved seeing Percy turn to gold. And then, of course, Annabeth immediately regretting it and being like, no, I'm going to find a way to save you. Hephaestus coming out and being like, nope, I'm not going to do that. And then, her telling about how Percy, is better than the rest of your family, that he doesn't want to be like, Percy doesn't want to be like the Olympians. And Hephaestus kind of admitted, right, in the books, I remember all the Olympians were assholes, right? They were all kind of selfish assholes who thought they were better than everybody else because they're gods, but they're not actually better than anybody else. That's kind of the point, because they're, again, selfish assholes. So, and I remember Hephaestus being the same way, right? I don't think you meet Hephaestus until, book 4, but I swear I remember when you meet him, he's the same way as all the other Olympians. I mean, I guess he's a little disconnected, but it's basically the same, right? He's still an asshole like everybody else, right? Being a god changes you. It gives you a different perspective, and that just kind of makes them all assholes. Even if they have their moments, But no, I did like in this they set up. We see Hephaestus' backstory, right? We have both Ares and Hephaestus talking about how fucked up their family is. And then, of course, it all pays off with Hephaestus being like, no, not all of us are like our family. And then he releases Percy. I think, and then he also says he's going to put in a good word for Annabeth to her mom. But no, I really do like that. I feel like I like the guy who they have playing Hephaestus. Not entirely what I'd expect him to look like, but I feel like, it's fine. And yeah, no, I think Hephaestus definitely does not appear in the book. Like I said, I think the first time he appears is Battle of the Labyrinth. But I feel like his addition here was really well done. I like his conversation with Annabeth. And yeah, I think it all kind of works. Again, they're going back and they're addressing some of the problems from the original book. They're fleshing things out. This is, I've been complaining about how Percy has felt very whiny throughout these first 4 episodes. This was the first episode where I was like, you know what, that all pays, right? He wasn't as whiny this one, but I feel like it all kind of pays off here. I especially love the moment at the end where he tells Ares, oh, if you keep going on like this, I'm going to fight you. And Ares just like, oh, kid. right? Like, it's coming. So yeah, no, I liked that. I really did. And I think this is the best episode yet. I really enjoyed the Tunnel of Love episode. And I really hope it's just smooth sailing from here. We know the next episode is the Lotus Casino. Right, they're going to find Hermes. I know there's all this speculation about, is it going to be a musical episode? Because I guess someone who worked on Lightning Thief musical is working on this episode. And of course you have Lin-Manuel Miranda in it. But if they give him a song or not, I don't care. I know some people are like, if Lin-Manuel Miranda sings We Riot. Because, he's overplayed at this point. But honestly, I don't fucking care. If they do it, they do it. I'm not really going to complain. Fuck it. Give him a song, don't give him a song. I play Poker Face again. I don't care. Why not? I'm fine with it either way. So yeah, I'm excited for whatever the next episode brings, Lotus Casino, give it to me. And right, they explain that, hey, once you get to Hermes, he'll be able to take you in his cab to LA in like 10 minutes. So right, I bet they're gonna spend, because I think they have 5 days left on their quest. So I bet they're gonna spend 4 days in the Lotus Casino, and then they're gonna take Hermes' cab to LA, get there in like 5 minutes, and then I guess that makes the next episode what? The waterbeds in the underworld, and then the final episode. Right? Them getting the bolt, returning, and seeing how all that pays off. Shit. I had to rush to plug it in real quick. I really thought we were going to make it. So yeah, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed episode 5. So yeah, because I think there are 3 more episodes. So I think that makes the most logical sense for where they go for the last 2. And then, yeah. Or for the next 2. And then, yeah. And then we finish off. And then, I hope the show immediately gets renewed for a second season. I hope it's doing well enough. It's everything. Everyone I see is talking about it every week. But, usually that's a good indicator, but not always. Oh shit, somebody disconnected. I mean, it's the last 20 seconds. We might be fine. Okay, we're not fine. Yeah, no, that sucks to lose someone. I don't know when they dropped. Admittedly, I did not pay attention to that. Yeah, we lost it there at the very end. So I guess that takes us to the end of the show. Yeah, I know I joked about it at the beginning, but we still went for, the full fucking... God, I thought it was closer than that. So yeah, we still went for, the full hour 40. So, what's next? So, what's coming up in the future? So the Pokemon DLC, the final epilogue, did come out yesterday. So, tomorrow, we will be doing that, right? It'll probably be a short, maybe 2 hours at most stream, because there's really not much we have to do. We've got to do that epilogue. I want to finish off the stuff with, there was this little side plot with Penny and Nimona and Arvin where we were chatting to them at the school that we started, and then just got completely distracted from, so I want to finish that off as well. And then, yeah, I think that'll... And then we do the DLC, or we, do this epilogue, this mythical... And then, yeah, I think that's the end. We beat the game. I know there's all this, teachers and gym leaders that you can invite to Blueberry Academy. But I'll be honest, I don't really care. Outside of getting, a few special Pokemon, I don't really think there's, that much stuff that's worth it there. Yeah, I know you can get a shiny Blitzel, which is cool, but, I don't really need it. But that is there. So yeah, we got that. And that'll be... Again, I don't expect that to take long, but we'll do that tomorrow. And then at some point... I'm sure there's other stuff to do. This was... I do like... It sucks that this Splatfest came after the holiday season, right? I kind of wish this Splatfest had happened, the week of Christmas, the week between Christmas and New Year's. But, it's fine. It's cool to get I guess it's cool to get a Frostyfest eventually. And again, I still expect the DLC. I think, if I had to guess, we're going to get a DLC. We're going to get a direct in February. I know some people were saying that we're going to get it this month. I think we're going to get it in February. And it's going to talk about the Splatoon DLC, which I think is coming out the end of February. They announced, that Donkey Kong game. They announced that they've added, 2 new worlds. And the game now has 130 levels. God damn it. I don't know why, but it seems to take a lot longer to get gear from these amiibos. I don't know why that is, but you have to do a lot more battles to get it. It kind of sucks. Because it took us forever. It took me twice as long to get the Big Mac gear as it did anybody else. I feel like they require more battles. But yeah, what was I saying? So yeah, Splatoon DLC, that's cool when that comes out. I'm actually excited for that Mario game. Mario, I know people were sick of the Mario vs. Donkey Kong series. I know the series became overplayed, but I'll be honest, I really do enjoy those games. They basically became puzzle games, and I'll be honest, they're fun little puzzle games. They're not anything amazing, but I think they're fun little puzzle games. Oh yeah, I love their outfits so much. The special outfit. I admittedly, I still don't have the Splatoon DLC. I still have not bought it. Right, to go ride the rail here. Yeah, no, I still have not bought it. But I love the outfits they gave these 3. I know we don't really have a good angle from here. But yeah, they all look fantastic. And I felt like the Halloween ones were also amazing. I love Big Man so much. Big Man's is so good. The mask and the hat. So yeah, let's just keep. What? Oh yeah, that Mario game's in February as well. An awful angle on that camera. Man, anything else? The second Pikmin video, my goal is to have it out by next week. Admittedly, I wanted to do it this week, and then I was so busy at work that I just didn't have time. But I'll do it next. I'll definitely have it out by next week. Admittedly, I still don't know if it's going to be 3 parts. I think it's going to be 3 parts. I think I actually started editing it as if it was 3 parts. But, Yeah, because I started editing like, almost immediately after I finished part 1. I started editing part 2. And I'm a ways into it. So, yeah. I'll definitely get... They should all be out by the end of the month, hopefully. Or they'll be out when the month ends. Yeah. Fun little Splatfest. I think it's a good theme, Is this the last year of this game? I have no idea. I really hope it gets... I know 2 years of support is Nintendo standard, but I really do hope we get more than 2 years of support. Because I still do really enjoy this game. I thought about playing Fall Guys the other day. I was like, it's been a while. I should do that at some point. But, fuck, man. Like, I don't want to go back. I don't know what else to play. We're gonna finish Mario Wonder. We have, but you know what I mean. I'm surprised I made, making these little emotes. I'm surprised I didn't make a sleepy one. I should have instead of doing this last one, I should have totally made a sleepy one. That would have been so cute. But no, so I just did all these. Oh. No, okay, I'm stalling at this point. This is where we're gonna end off. I'm tired. I need to go to bed. I say. So yeah, I hope you all enjoyed. Stay tuned for more. Until next time, peace.